We wanted to throw the coolest, honestly the best gender reveal party we knew how to do. You good?
I'm good.
Need your butt pillow or anything?
Okay.
Okay. For one, I have always had a vision in my head ever since I was probably like 16. Before I'd even met Victoria, before I'd ever even considered having kids, I always wanted to do a gender reveal with a burnout. I had seen it one time when I was like early high school or something, and I remember even watching Pimp My Ride back in the day, ironically enough, and one of the people on the show, Exhibit, gave them colored tire smoke, and I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. That would be a really good idea someday.
Yeah.
To like do for a gender reveal, like a massive, massive burnout. And so for one, I wanted it to be epic. I wanted to just do something cool because like I love cars to death, and that's something I've really wanted. Especially though, after this past year, we had 2 miscarriages, and it was really, really rough. And so honestly, like I had envisioned in my head, I was like, you know what, Lord willing, if we get to the point to where our baby is healthy enough and we actually get to the point to where we can tell a gender, I want to go all out. I want to have a real, genuine celebration.
Big and fun.
We wanted to talk a little bit about today, like how we did that, some of the planning process. I know we've got some ladies that follow us, so we're going to talk about a little bit of like more girly stuff, like a cute table. Honestly, don't think I even looked at the decorations one time. I was worried about the
I
text.
don't know if you even walked over that way at all.
I'm gonna please put a hat on, tame this real quick. So the burnout thing was obviously like that's me. It's a guy thing. You want it to be cool. You want noises. You want like big. For me, I wanted something that was big, and I know that the thing that I was kind of battling with this is it's a very common thing for car enthusiasts to do. But the last thing I wanted it to do was be 1, typical, and 2, like wimpy. I don't mean to like shame anybody that's done this before, but like the bags under your tires that just goes poof and it's done, like that's really lame. Me being an automotive YouTuber and making this content for a living, like, you know, that's obviously different, so I wanted to go full send on it. So I was doing a lot of research on how to get it, and I ended up getting a couple recommendations and found not the bags. I ended up finding these tires that actually are colored all the way through from pretty much top to bottom. What we did, we had to obviously wait until her, what, 16? It's like 16 or 17 weeks, something like that. Yeah. So you can go in, you can technically see what the baby's gender is at like 16 weeks. And so what we did, she had a checkup anyways, and so they went ahead and just did the sonogram.
She was like, you want to know, don't you? I was like, yes, can you find out?
So they found out, and because of HIPAA, they couldn't like email or anything like that, so they had to literally write down the gender on a piece of paper that was folded up and put in an envelope and staple it shut. Like, it was very private, confidential information. That is when it started it all. Nobody in the world except for the doctors knew at this point, and so this is when the video started, I guess. This is like a whole 2-week process. I dropped it off at Zohr. Anoop and I discussed like what we envisioned the day going like, what we had thought was gonna be like, and then so on. He ordered the tires, and again, this was what, 9 or 10 days before?
No, the thing is, these tires come from Australia.
So here's where
that's
like,
a whole nother story.
I wanted to make sure this was more of a production rather than a vlog, and so there's a lot of missed detail on this video that
There's
like,
a lot that happened last
yeah,
night.
so that's kind of why we're filling you in on this. And so here, we're like 9 days from like D-Day, okay?
Yeah.
Burnout Day. And these tires had to come from Australia. So we paid for the fastest shipping possible, and before anything else happened, we were supposed to do it on the Saturday, the 17th?
16th.
16th?
Yeah.
Saturday the 16th was the thing. It said that the tires were supposed to be here the following Monday, and so we still shot for Saturday and still acted like it was supposed to happen. Okay, so week of, is there anything you guys did that you know? Like,
well, so what was hard is like, so my mom and I, we wanted to plan COVID friendly, but still have like goodies and stuff. And so we went and we had to go order like the cupcakes and the popcorn and all that kind of stuff, but we had to have a date that we needed to pick it up by. And so that was kind of it was kind of risky to say, hey, we're gonna do this Saturday, and we still didn't know if we were doing it this Saturday.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff was fresh. We had like little goodie bags, like everything was individualized.
Yeah, we had like little cupcake containers, so nothing
How was y'all's planning? Like,
it was so much fun. We had the best time. It was a lot of the like, we're gonna act like we're doing it on Saturday and hope that it happens.
We kind of all just had this vision in our head that we were like, it's going to happen Saturday, no matter what. While everything else is happening, our tires are still not here yet. They're being shipped via boat or something to America. So overnight parts from Australia. The original idea. Now, I have 2 cars that I love probably more than any car that I've ever owned. Supra and my R33. I love both of these cars. I mean, I say that like my Evo is, I don't know, I love all my cars. But it's not rear wheel drive. Really, I had one rear wheel drive car to choose from that I had a spare set of wheels for that I could put a burnout set on. I didn't want to like unmount and then mount and then remount and everything like that, which Zohr could have definitely done easily, but I didn't want to use hers because also we did a burnout in your car, and even though it's an LSD, I think your LSD clutches are fried or something.
Yeah.
So like, it's a clutch type LSD in her car, so it only did a one-wheel peel, and so I needed 2 wheels. And so the R33 was the perfect candidate, but the problem was the tune was a little messed up because something with the Haltech software, it was just software related, had messed up whenever we were tuning it. Even though it ran really well, it couldn't do two-step properly, and it needed more boost. We did a really conservative tune on it because there's like a boost leak. I need to redo the intake manifold and stuff. I'm honestly probably just gonna rip the motor out and build it anyways. But the car was on stock clutch. Well, we don't know what clutch is in the car, and so that's gonna be a follow-up. Kind of forgot about that, and so my goal was to like do a super just like Aussie type burnout where you just launch control, second or third gear, drop the clutch and go.
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, that would have worked really, really well, especially with this car. It's got a big turbo, it's got a very capable ECU. I mean, so does this car. So obviously this car worked fine. But I really wanted to do it in this car because a lot of you guys really love this car. It's sentimental to you guys because it's also special, and like it was a very unique build. And so it's probably one of the coolest cars that I own.
When it was like your first one from Japan, like it was a big deal.
But again, it has a limited slip diff, so I could do 2 tires burning out at once, so that was the biggest factor. And so if you guys watched the video on that, Ethan came over. This was like 2 days before. It was Thursday. It was Wednesday?
Yeah.
This was Wednesday evening. This was at like 4 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tires weren't even here yet, but I had a practice set to burn out in to try the burnout. And I'm glad we did that because like that would have been the most embarrassing thing ever. I wanted to make sure that I could do big and fun, and obviously it just didn't work. We tried it in first gear. The car was putting like 10-15 psi, and it was great. Like there's not enough torque to like absolutely devastate the clutch when you're just dropping it in first gear, so it was fine. But second gear, we were at like 12-13 psi. When you drop the clutch, that is literally one of the hardest things you could ever do for a clutch. And so what happens is one is rotating really fast and the other's not really rotating at all. All of a sudden it's supposed to grip up and instantly start rotating at the same speed.
Oh, that's what's happening?
Yeah, being a stock clutch, not gonna happen. Flywheel was spinning, drop the clutch, boom. Clutch did not want to spin. It maybe did this sort of deal, and I think it's now currently seized onto my flywheel. So we've got some interesting stuff to do in the following week for the 33. This is gonna be interesting. This was 2 days before, really. Like I had 2 days tops.
Yeah, so this is 5 o'clock Wednesday, and then we're like, okay, we gotta figure something out.
You were crying, and I was like, babe, don't worry about it, I'll figure it out. And this is the kind of stuff I'm good at. I never really freak out at anything. Like if there's a problem, I can usually find a solution very quickly. My first thought was, well, my Supra is my dream car, and even though it has an open diff, I've worked on Toyotas a lot, I can probably easily get this diff in and out in a day. So 5 p.m., I'm exhausted. Like I've already not slept well this week because like it's been a long day. Like we've been painting the house. We've been like doing so much other stuff. I had to pick up Jaren's Miata and that sort of like every single day has been like a 12+ work day. And I really wanted this R33 video to be like okay, I can finally just relax, take it easy until the event.
No. Funny because people are like, wait, weren't you taking some time off this week? And we're like,
I was supposed to. I really wanted to, but it's okay because I don't mind it. I love working.
But it was so sweet. So he comes in, I was emotional because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, do we need to cancel? Do we need whatever? And you're just like, I got this. And so the initial shock got me, but he's like, babe, I got this. I got this. It was the sweetest thing. And so I'm like, okay, hubby's got this.
So I went out and a big thanks to Tang Tools and Ben Pack. If it wasn't for like the lifts and all of like the trans jacks and all that kind of stuff that I had and all the tools that I have, it would have taken me considerably longer, but I got the diff out and disassembled in, I think, an hour.
Yeah.
So it was good. I cleaned it out. My friend from Trackstar, Drew, the Wireworks guy, the guy who does all the wiring and welding fabrication for Trackstar, he came out last minute. The next day, he was there at like 3 or 4 because he had some work to do in the morning. So he came all the way out here. He welded the diff correctly. I mean, that was the thing. Like, we're being in a pinch, so we wanted to do it right but quick. And so he did a great job, did it well. Obviously, it worked. I was way too tired that day, and I had other kind of like administrative stuff to do in the house. And so I was like, dude, I can't put the diff in today. So I woke up Friday morning. This was the day I had to get
24 hours.
24 hours before. Woke up Friday morning, put the diff in. It gave me tons of troubles and stuff like that. After finally getting the diff in, I was psyched. I put the fluid in. I had to take like 2 or 3 trips to the store because I kept on forgetting stuff. And
at this point, we still did not have tires delivered.
This is when it kind of all started getting crazy. So the diff is in. It works, as you can tell from the video, like it was spinning. But the problem was that was in neutral. It was spinning like that. My clutch wasn't working, and I had forgotten that. I had to push it on to, like, I knew it, but it was like in the back of my mind. I was focused so much on the diff, I was like, oh, my clutch does not work currently. Victoria was sitting up there in the car for probably an hour, bleeding.
Yeah.
And long story short, just, we got it to work. It was a lot of frustration, and like I was like about to give up, because I was like, dude, this clutch is not working. Got it to work.
4 o'clock, I think, on Friday.
This is 4 o'clock. This is later. This is later in the day. Got it to work. Pulled it outside. I was like, this is my last hope. If this does not do a good burnout right now, I literally don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We still could have used the AMG or something, but like I have no options anymore. Pulled outside. It obviously did a great burnout, but the car ran like crap. Because the clutch has been bad, I haven't been able to drive the car much, and I haven't really had the time to like bleed the clutch or change the slave cylinder or whatever, you know, what I had to do. So it's like, okay, it's probably just E85 that's been sitting here for a couple, you know, probably it's been a couple months, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Which E85, if you don't know, it's alcohol. If you have enough air in the tank, it's just like alcohol, where the alcohol starts to turn into water the longer it sits. So I go to my local E85, like gas station that has E85,
Oh, yeah,
and they're
I heard of
completely out of E85. Out. This is 6 o'clock now on Friday. And so they're kind of scrambling. They're getting all the little goodie bags and stuff kind of put together.
Yeah, we're getting like all the
You're
table
picking
stuff.
up cupcakes and all that kind of stuff. I don't even think I had eaten at this point in the day. I think
You
the first
had?
time I had eaten was 7 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Get back to the house. There's a place that's 45 minutes from me that had E85. So we had to go all the way to there and go get E85. We spent an hour and a half in the car. And then we got a call that night that our tires were delivered, in fact. They sent me a picture. And I was like, oh my God, this is all working.
It all just lined up perfectly, but it was so stressful.
So now moving to like the reveal day, one of the biggest things I did not want to have to focus on was filming. And thankfully, so Senshi Productions, the guy that came and did all the filming, he's been DMing me and he's been messaging me for years to come and do filming and stuff for me. And I was like, okay, if there's any time I need to just say, okay, screw it, like somebody else needs to film it, it's today.
Yeah.
And I've seen his stuff and it's really good. And honestly, he did a killer job.
He did awesome.
Filming the day. But I was like, hey man, you've got to keep this information private. Don't tell anybody about the event. Obviously don't tell anybody where I live, this and that. And but be here 9:30 in the morning. I need you to do some filming. He's like, all right, cool. So he comes out 9:30. He actually was here a little early. Him and his girl, like they both did some filming
So
and it was
nice.
amazing. I might have my boy Tito come out and help a little bit around the shop and do some filming for me from now on, because it was really cool. So day of, I don't have anxiety or anything yet, I'm like nervous, but it's like, I'm like, oh wow, like this is the day. And honestly, I'm kind of nervous about the diff. I'm like, the place that we did the burnout was really only a couple miles from my house. So I was like, okay, I know the Super has an oil leak. Don't want anything to catch on fire. I know that the diff is freshly welded. I don't want anything to seize up or something go bad. Like, I put the right amount of diff fluid in and all that kind of stuff. Didn't want anything to happen, so I just cruised. Cruised there, I was a little nervous, but I had a good time. It was fun. I always love driving my Supra. It's always good. We got to do some roller shots, and it was a great time. At this point, like, I didn't put a lot of my GoPro footage in because, like, it was really just me going, like, I was like kind of nervous. This is a huge deal. Obviously, if I've been thinking about this for this long, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
I parked the car, we get it all set up. Anoop had this idea of doing a little used tire wall behind it, which was probably good because when you're doing a burnout, you can fling concrete and you can fling everything. Not really that good. So put a little used tire wall up. They got there. Bernardo, my boy, and I'm regretfully can't remember the other guy's name, but they both did so good.
Yeah.
They set the car up. I brought some ramps. Like, we had to prep a lot. So this car, you cannot get under the side skirts unless you have ramps, and then you have to have my special jack with a little block on it. So I had to make sure all of that was ready. They got it jacked up, and at this point, it was just kind of like the nerves started kind of kicking in because people were just like, I was just sitting there watching people show up, and it was definitely an odd feel too, because like this was such a huge deal, but everybody had to wear masks, and it was like everybody had to be like apart. Like, this is a part where, like, this is a time where you really want to be like hugging your family. You want to be hugging the people that are like close to you, but We are super precautious for one because she's now a high risk pregnancy.
High risk being pregnant. I'm not a high risk pregnancy.
Right,
yeah.
but you know what I mean. So I'm sure they know what I mean too. Because of that, like we couldn't risk anything. Plus, we didn't want to make a big deal about it. So I want to give a big thank you. So we're actually friends with our local pastor, who's Lake Point Church. I really wanted to. I guess one of the biggest, most intimate details, one of the biggest details I've kind of forgotten was there's no way I could have hosted something like this at my house. One, because of parking, but two, because like it'd be weird to have that many people at my home right now with this pandemic. So this was like a week, not even a week before. I was like, hey man, I'll try not to make a mess, or I'll clean up and stuff like that after. But like, can we use one of the church parking lots? Because like it's a big parking lot. Like I'm not gonna call the local ISD. They're not gonna want me to do that. And so and he was like, dude, yes. So he was awesome.
He was like, absolutely.
He was awesome.
More intimate details, like that's where we met, not that location, but we met at that church. And so it was just a cool kind of like full circle. It's like we met there and then we got to do our gender reveal.
Anyways, we had this big lot. Everything was good. Backed up onto the ramps. And then we're just chilling there. And at that point, Tito was doing a bunch of filming and got a bunch of really cool B-roll. And so basically as soon as Kip showed up, we just like, I started the car, rolled off, and I was like, all right, here we go.
And I was good. Like everybody's like, are you nervous? I'm like, no, I'm excited. And then all of a sudden you like closed the hood and you said, okay, are you ready? I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart started pounding. Like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
I wasn't like, I struggle. I have bad anxiety, especially when it comes, ironically, I have really bad anxiety in cars. This day was weird. I was more just excited, which was nice, but I was still battling a little bit of that anxiety. And as soon as I turned the car on, I was like, all right, please do a good burnout. Like, please don't suck. Because all of this prep, all of this effort cannot be in vain. So I sat there, wrapped it up. The car was warm, and I wrapped it up, and I was like, okay, I gotta just commit at some point, gotta drop the clutch. So I dropped the clutch. Did the burnout thing, dropped the clutch, left foot on the brake. I started getting the tires rolling. I was like, okay, we're good. So my first thought was, I'm gonna put my head out the window because I wanna see. Like the whole point of a gender reveal is we don't know what it is. But I also wanted to be the one in the car because it was my car. Like the Supra has been my dream car since I was a kid. And so I wanted to be the one doing the burnout. Anyway, so I did it and I dropped the clutch. For me, the initial tire smoke
what was it like for you?
It literally looked blue. And I just heard some screaming. I was like, wait, what? And so I looked back again. I put my whole body out in the car. I was like,
you were like halfway out the car.
I was like, oh my God, it's pink. We're about to have a girl. And then like something just came over me. There's a very clear line when I got excited because my foot went all the way down. And you just heard rattling. You can see the exhaust just like shooting smoke one direction. And like you can just like, smoke just starts billowing. And like I was just, it was, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this, but like it was so exciting. Like the only thing I wanted to do was clap. Like I was so stoked about it.
And it looked like you got kind of emotional in the video.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like
scream, half cry, scream, half cry. It was awesome. And so like that moment, it felt like it went fast and slow. And so I honestly didn't know how long I had done the burnout at that point. I saw the smoke behind me and I was like, that's a big cloud. Got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I was like, okay, well this is a parking lot. I don't want to absolutely ruin their concrete or anything. So at some point I just started crab walking a little bit forward. And then after that, my first reaction was, okay, gotta pull the e-brake, get out and hug Victoria. Started crying.
And it was funny. So like from my perspective, so I had the two people on either side. It was my mom and his mom. So it was the three girls. And we were waiting, and I initially saw the blue as well, which is funny because we've been saying, I thought it was a boy, and you've been saying, which we can talk about, you've been saying it's a boy for a long time. So I initially was going into it just fully expecting to see blue smoke, and I was really excited, but like deep down I was like, I really want to go. And so like I saw the blue smoke, and I was like, yay, it's a boy, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, the pink just hit, and it was like this huge pink cloud. I'm like, wait, it's a girl. And I just, it was a lot of fun.
I had, you know, it's funny, I was playing, like, obviously, as a guy, like, it's typical to just want a boy, you know, because, like, the stereotypical sort of idea is, like, that's what carries on your legacy, which I don't necessarily agree with because, you know, anybody can do that. This whole time, like, I knew it was gonna be a girl. I kept on seeing pink. Like, whenever I would see, like, whenever a noob texts me the picture, they did a great job of covering, like, black on the tires and painting. But I was like, I could have sworn I saw pink. I was like, I see pink in there. I could have sworn. Obviously, you couldn't see pink, but I was like, they even, like, whenever they were setting up the tire wall, I saw a used tire. I thought it was my tire, and it had pink on it. I was like, I knew it. But it was a used tire, and I was like, oh, never mind. Okay, it's not it.
He's been playing, like, the dad card, like, oh, it's gonna be a boy, it's gonna be a boy.
And obviously, like, Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super happy, but like, you know, it's everybody wants a boy, you know, because like it's a boy. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm kind of stoked. It'll be cool being a girl daddy. After that, anyways, so we finished the burnout. And then everybody's kind of that was kind of the weird part, is everybody kind of just had to leave. Nobody could like hug and clap and you know be super.
It's like we had no, I don't know, like gender reveals normally it's like a big thing. Like you have games and you have all this kind of stuff and it's like, okay, we did a burnout and here's some snacks and go home.
You made that sound really lame. I did a pretty large burnout. Anyway, so then we went home. I wanted to test out the tires a little more, so I did a little bit of rolling. I did a couple rolling burnouts. I didn't even put all the footage in, so I did another roll. I did 2 rolling burnouts on the way home. Some dude was behind me for the second one, and I don't know what he was thinking, but I didn't really care because I was having a good time. And then I did a third one in the driveway. Actually, I did 3 more. I wanted to see how much pink was left on the tires, which I don't know, there's probably not too much left. I'm sure it's like interlaced all the way through. There's a lot of tread still left on that though. Like,
yeah.
I could safely drive on those tires for a while.
Yeah. For sure.
When we got home, adrenaline was high. I was excited. Then it was tough because, for one, I obviously have a lot of followers. There was already people just driving by that saw the burnout. They could see the smoke. Like I had followers that probably 3 or 4 people that passed by that were followers that knew, you know. So it's like it was going to be really hard to keep it secret. And so I immediately they went and got food. I went straight upstairs, started editing to make sure that I could edit everything from start to finish, so we'd have the video out at least for the next day. Honestly, I could have just uploaded it that night, but I definitely wanted to give myself a break. And I wanted to enjoy it, and yeah.
Kind of like our little secret for a bit. But no, so what was funny is you had, let's talk about that Photoshop picture that everybody.
So I have over the years gotten really good at Photoshop.
Yeah.
Obviously that's part of my job. I mean, a thumbnail is just as important as the video itself. If you don't have a good thumbnail, you don't have a good video. So I was like, okay, I have to make the ultimate thumbnail. It cannot indicate by any means any sort of bias towards either color.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of tire smoke in the picture. All pink. I was like, how do I make this blue? And so what I had to do was I highlighted the entire cloud and then made the entire thing blue and then cut it in half. But then you gotta realize, like, there's reflections on the car. There's actual pink on the car from the particles and through the window.
Yeah.
So I had to manipulate almost everything. I wanted to make it seem like the pink was more photoshopped.
And a few people
Then the blue, like the blue actually ended up looking so natural that actually it made the picture look so badass.
But it was funny reading all the comments. So you had posted it probably a good 18 hours before, but people could comment on it. And so seeing all the arguments of, no, look at the window or look at the hood.
Yeah, when you premiere, you guys can chat live about the thumbnail pretty much. I was dying. It was awesome. So honestly, it was super funny watching you guys go, no, it's obviously a boy, you idiot. Like the pink is super photoshopped, and it was great seeing just both sides of that. And
so fun.
That was towards the end of like my dream. I mean, as soon as I stopped editing though, I was dead. So I crashed, and even the Sunday after, like I couldn't even, the thing that sucked was I was so tired, but I was so excited I couldn't even sleep for the next day because I wanted you guys to see the video. So not only was I incredibly exhausted, I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
So I woke up and we did that, and as soon as the gender reveal was live and I got to share my hype on Instagram and stuff like that, I was dead. I was done.
Yeah, so we had a
somehow we managed to go to dinner last night and celebrate, but I was dead tired, and honestly I'm still very tired, but it was so cool. I'm not gonna lie, this was I'm very thankful. This day definitely, like, I'm not gonna say exceeded my expectations because I have very high expectations for myself all the time. How well Zohr did and how quickly they were able to act. I mean, the fact that they blocked off a whole morning just for us, that's a huge deal. They're a big company, like they do a bunch of fleet vehicles, like they work with Amazon and stuff. I mean, that's a big deal to like take off a morning for one of their vehicles. And Bernardo and I think both of the guys are actually off that day, and so they were doing some overtime.
They came in on their off day,
And like it was super cool seeing like that kind of support. And then also Tito, him bringing his girl, like they drove all the way out here and did some filming for us, and not even like just film, but like they did a good job of filming and got us really cool B-roll. And it's cool because like I didn't have to focus on vlogging, and now I have footage of one of the coolest days of our lives, like that I didn't have to worry about. Like I was able to be in the moment. I definitely.
I think that was such a big thing. Is just being able to live and not having to worry about work, but just enjoying it. You know.
Yeah, it was an amazing day, and I would do it again 11 times out of 10.
I think one more time is fine with me.
Yeah, one more time.
One more
I'm
not having a.
If I have one more girl, I'm definitely done because I can't risk having 3.
Yeah.
If I have a boy, then we're also definitely done. So one more child and we're done.
I really want to.
One more child and we're done because I can't have 3 kids. Period.
But no, I just want to say that like all of y'all's messages and comments, I mean, y'all have seriously flooded our inbox with just so much love and support, and a lot of y'all that have been watching for so long that know our stories of the previous 2 babies. And I mean, I can't count how many people are like, y'all had me crying. I'm like, well, I'm gonna cry reading your message and watching that. It was just seriously, like, we can't thank you enough for your support over the years.
I'm not gonna do actually daily advice for today. I mean, I feel like we've given so much insight and stuff. If you can't make your own advice based off of any of the things that we have gone through today and off of the stuff that, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but I would just say, like, make the best out of every situation for sure. But love you guys, and I will catch you guys next video. Thank you for tuning in to like the recap. It was definitely one of the coolest days of our lives, so we wanted to go ahead and talk about it again, and I'm gonna go back through and I'll be able to watch all the footage and put more footage than what I used.
Yeah, I was like, when we were watching the video that he edited, I'm like, there's so much we didn't even put in.
Yeah, there's a lot we didn't put in. So thank you guys, love you all. We'll catch you guys next video. Peace. Hey, watch those 2 videos and subscribe and turn those notifications on and have a good day and bye.